Ladies and gentlemen, in true COVID style, we are launching this album through a live stream concert. I miss performing live so much, and this is the closest that it will get. So thank you so much for joining me today. The album Peaceful Piano Essentials is an album that celebrates the incredible works of Chopin, Bach, Beethoven, Debussy, and more. So, ladies and gentlemen, please let me know where you're tuning in from what city, from what country. I'd love to know. So pop those comments in the chat. I will also do a Q&A at the end of the show where if you have any questions about the album or anything else, do pop them in the comments as well. But for now, please enjoy a combination of works that features in Peaceful Piano Essentials. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'd love to thank, first of all, the team here at DFP for doing such an incredible job working with me to create all of these visuals for you. We hope you enjoyed the show. I don't know if there's any questions at all. My eyes are pretty shoddy. Where is everyone tuning in from? I see Carl up there. Australia, Asia, America. Amazing. I can't. I feel like I have to get closer to the screen. Okay, we're scrolling through. I have a screen up here which I can look at. That's awesome. St. Louis, wow. What inspired your album? Honestly, at the beginning of the lockdowns, we had, I kind of had this defense mechanism where everything was taken away from me, all my shows, all my tours, all my concerts. And so many of you tuned into basically my live streams. I started doing live streams every day at 12:30. And I did that. I promised everyone that I would do that until we were out of lockdowns. But clearly that hasn't lasted. I thought it would only last for about 3 weeks. And so during those times, I ended up being requested to play a lot of the pieces that I've played for you today. And funnily enough, I have never recorded these particular pieces before. And so I guess not going on tour meant that I had the time to go into a recording studio, and I was then able to record this album of really beautiful music. So I guess that's the inspiration. How long was the recording session? It's hard to believe, but we did it basically over the course of a day and a half, basically. I prepared really hard, and we ended up going into Studio 301 here in Sydney, and we recorded and also shot a couple of music video clips, which you saw today, the Debussy Arabesque, which features the gorgeous Talia Fowler and the incredible team that came together. That was right in the middle of the lockdowns as well. That was in July, middle of July. So, you know, we were all COVID safe, and we all went into that studio and worked really hard to produce these videos. The single, The Nocturne in E-flat major, that came out about a month ago, which I'm sure you've seen as well, in that beautiful white couture gown by my friend Huang Minha. And then I will have another video coming out for you probably in 1 month's time of a piece by Bach. But yeah, the process was very speedy in that sense. I guess we just really prepared beforehand and then smashed it in the studio. My question for you this evening: when you were growing up, challenging yourself each day, practicing the incredible arrangements from the most prominent composers through classical music history, what would you say, arrangement-wise, was the most difficult piece that pushed you to the hardest? That's the thing, is that when you're growing up, you are learning all these incredibly difficult works, and those works are, I guess, things like Rachmaninoff and Liszt, you know, the more technical stuff. At the same time, like trying to learn about the musical nuances of each particular era of the classical period. I think that that is a forever process of learning. But definitely the difficult pieces in that Romantic era, like the Liszt's and some Chopin's and Rachmaninoff's particularly, were the difficult parts, which is kind of the irony of this particular album, because the album is really much more subdued and focuses on the elements of beauty and the grace and elegance in these particular pieces that are favorites from many, many, many people. Akira, great to see you. This was gorgeous, Van-Anh. What made you decide to do a completely classical album? I know, right? Because the last album was Pop Alchemy, and that was that was classical and pop mashups where I was mashing up Destiny's Child with Rachmaninoff and Britney with Beethoven. But to be honest, being locked down, I think we're all we've been reduced to our absolute core, just to the basics. And for me, that was really me coming back to my core foundations, which is classical music. I grew up learning that. I lived, I breathed it. And I will forever love it. And I've always wanted to be able to use various different platforms to be able to push classical music out there for the wider audience to appreciate, whether you follow classical music or not. And then, yeah, so I guess that was one element of it. But also, these particular works are usually the most requested works in the classical realm for me, and I guess it was just time to do it and put it onto an album and have it up there on Spotify and iTunes so that people can stream me instead of somebody else. What was the inspiration for using a ballerina in your piece, and can you explain your own costume a little in that piece, the artwork on your arm, etc.? Oh, thanks, Nick. I have this forever love for ballet. Many of you know that I grew up learning ballet, and it was almost a career possibility. And I had to choose between piano or ballet, and I obviously chose piano. So first of all, there was that love for ballet, and then secondly, I think with the Debussy, the title is arabesque. So, that's one particular move that everybody learns in ballet. And so I just felt that was the natural progression to use a ballerina. And then honestly, it came so quickly. It was within, I guess, 5 days. I spoke to Mark about the idea briefly. I spoke to Frace, who shot, and he's like, yes, great idea, let's do it. And then from then on, Mark asked a friend, and the friend asked another friend, and it became this big kind of like, oh, let's get a team together and choreograph something, and it all kind of fell together. So I'm very grateful to Talia, to Sam, and to Michael for really, and for Martin to come together and create in such an incredible time for all of us artists. The artwork on the arm is very signature Martin Bray, and he, I guess it was kind of like to create a sort of grit about the two of us. Both Talia and I are in black. We chose to be in black so that we were one together. It was almost kind of like Talia is a sort of a figment of my imagination, or an idea that plays in my mind that I'm seeing out of the corner of my eye, and she's dancing around me. So Martin created the florals on the arm to kind of sort of like a piece de resistance. It's very, I've never had that on me before as well, so it was quite an experience. Or I just went with the flow, honestly. These guys had the vision, and I just really fell in love with it, and it turned out, I think personally, awesome. Guys, I think that's it for now. Thank you so much. Ron, thank you. You're tuning in from Canada. That's so awesome. Thank you so much. I really would like to thank you all for spending time with me. It has been very, I hate using the word depressing, but it's been very sad that I have not been able to come back to the US and to Canada and to Europe to tour this year. But I promise that I will get back there in 2021, and we will do this live. And once again, I'd like to thank the team at DFP for doing such an amazing job today, creating this show with me. I'm Van-Anh. You can stream my album on Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, all of the above. And I hope to see you somewhere soon. Thank you.